Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Something happened to my internet, but it shouldn't happen again.
Zane, how do you feel being the worst streamer in all existence?
After this, I might have to kill myself.
I think so. I think you should retire permanently.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we're removing you as head of StarCraft Society.
Alright, I'm very sad.
Why don't you introduce players?
Okay, in the top right, we have Kaz as the teal Zerg, and in the top left, we have Moonbaby as the orange Zerg.
And Kaz is lagging up the game. And
Uh,
Kaz is gone!
Kaz
So,
has left
that
the
was a
game!
quick game!
Mm-hmm.
Moonbaby taking it and making the series... No, not really.
Yeah, these things happen.
Technical problems.
It's not a StarCraft event without technical problems.
Yeah, I blame David Kim.
David Kim is always to blame,
Absolutely.
without exception. Okay, we're gonna have to go back into Neo Arcanoid. Because I don't think that counts as a victory.
It's funny you should say that. I wonder what makes you say that.
Hmm.
Whilst we're waiting for the game to load again, why don't we talk about what makes Neo Arkanoid interesting?
Yes, let's talk about what makes Neo Arcanoid interesting, because I'm not sure if people heard us before, because my internet died.
Well, we mentioned the rocks, but we didn't mention the fact that they're on a timer, and if when the timer runs out, all the rocks disappear, and you can just bum rush your opponent.
But that happens after 18 minutes, which is very late into the game.
Yeah, 3 base all in, basically, is the main strat for this map. That will go air. Just cheese.
Yep.
At
And we
least
can
it's
see the loading screen for Neo Arcanoid. On the top right position we have Kaz, top left, Moonbaby.
It's funny they spawn in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you reckon the odds are that this game lasts more than 20 seconds?
Very likely. I have a good feeling about this one.
This one in particular. You know what they say, third time lucky.
Well, we can see Moonbaby is sending his Overlord to the right. Kaz is sending her Overlord down. So
Which
this...
means Kaz will never find Moonbaby.
Yes.
Or the rocks disappear.
Yes. This is very advantageous. We can see Moonbaby is going to know exactly where his opponent is. Well, Kaz is going to know where he is when she sees the Overlord, but she won't have vision of his base. She won't know exactly what he's up to.
I mean, Moonbaby, being a Masters player, could turn around the Overlord before Kaz sees it. Because the Overlord does have longer vision.
But we do see
Kaz is
Kaz...
sending a second
Yeah.
Overlord, so it'll be alright.
And when the Overlords cross and have an Overlord hug, both players will know where the other has spawned.
It's an Overlord kiss, and I think they're going to miss.
Yeah, so if we look down here, we can see that there's a strange-looking creep tumor. This is to block expansions from the other two races, but as both players in this game are Zerg, it won't affect the hatchery placement.
Why do you think that creep tumor is so large?
It's a big creep tumor. It's probably from Kerrigan or something.
She shot that one out in her spare time.
Indeed. So we can see a hatchery first from Moonbaby.
And Kaz is going to be
Also
following up
hatchery
with a slightly
first.
later hatch.
We can see 16 hatch from Kaz. I think it was a 15 from Moonbaby.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Not much difference, to be honest.
No, they're both going heavy economy as it would be expected.
Yeah, with these rocks, you can get away with being greedy.
Do you think you could go double hatch before making anything else on this map?
Yeah, certainly. I think double hatch before Paul is certainly viable on this map. In fact, it probably is the best thing.
It's funny that both players have decided to go hatch pool after we said that.
Yes.
As if to prove us wrong.
Yeah, but we do see Kaz has opted for gas. Moonbaby, no gas.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean, it makes sense because I have to think Kaz will go mutas on this map, so she needs to start building up a bank of gas.
Yeah, Muta is the best build on this map by far. I mean, you need to get through 3 sets of rock, or 2 sets of rocks with these spawn locations to get to your opponent. So hatchery tech aggression just doesn't cut it.
It is possible to take advantage of the fact that your opponent will probably be going mutas and Nidus them.
Yep, that is also possible. And we see Moonbaby opting for his 3rd hatchery and still no gas. So he's looking at this map and thinking, I can be very greedy, and that's what he's doing.
Why do you think he got the pool then? Do you reckon he'll do anything with that for now?
I think He just sort of thought maybe I should get it just in case. Like, he didn't want to do anything too fancy. He's improvising. He doesn't want to take any risks.
Yeah, he hasn't seen this map before, has he?
Nope. Obviously not a Pro League watcher.
Unfortunately for him. Do you reckon we'll see Kaz take her third anytime soon?
Well, we have the layer on the way. More drones. I think we're going to see the very fast Spire off 2 base, or maybe a Nidus like you said earlier.
I think the Spire for Kaz off 2 base would actually be beneficial at this point,
That's
considering how greedy Moonbaby is being.
If Kaz does opt for a Nidus, she'd be in a problem because she doesn't really have any good overlords placed anywhere to actually drop the Nidus one.
Has she even scouted yet? Oh yeah, she has.
She has one overlord at the top left, which is hard to see. There you go.
Yeah, I changed to her view to see what was up. She doesn't know about the third expansion, however.
Yep, and as the layer finishes, we're going to see what tech option Kaz decides to go for.
I'm putting all my money on mutas. There we go, we see the Spire.
Spire, Mutalisk, surprise, surprise. Okay, what's very interesting is Moonbaby still has not taken any gas at all.
He is gonna die. Like.
Okay, now he's taking 2. Yes, only 2 gas.
Only 2. Would you say that leans more towards ground units?
Possibly. We could see him go straight to Hydralisks and use spores to defend before they come out. We see spores.
As you say that, there is a spore going down right now, yeah.
I mean, if you're going to delay your gas this much, you need spores, or you will die to Mutalisks.
Yeah, he might not be getting enough, because I mean, Kaz is going to go heavy on the mutas, as you can expect, especially as she's not getting a greedy economy. So we could see the mutas do a lot of damage.
Well, if we look at the worker count, we can see Moonbaby has a nice 15 lead on the drones. That's going to be a big difference later on in the game, so Kaz needs to make sure that her first set of Mutalisks do enough damage to justify her hurting her own economy.
Kaz's mutas are going to have to do a lot of damage to make up for the fact she still doesn't have a third. I think when she attacks, she probably needs to get her third down ASAP.
They're on the way for Moonbaby.
Oh, I see. The rocks are almost at half health as we come up to the 8-minute mark in the game.
Yep, and it's interesting to note that the Hydralisk Den is a building that builds much faster than the Spire, so when his lair is done, he can throw down that Hydralisk Den and it will be done fairly soon.
But Kaz's first mutas are about to pop. You reckon she'll wait for more than... Oh, she's got 8 on the way now. I was going to say, well, she'll wait for more than 4 before she puts in and reveals.
4 isn't enough, because every base is going to have a queen, and probably a spore. And yeah, we can see that Moonbaby does indeed have a spore at every single base.
They're not particularly amazingly placed, like the gas drones are still open to being attacked.
It's really going to be a test of micro.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Kaz can do. Her first mutas are coming in now and they've been driven off by that first spore.
She's going to kill this overlord and probably not do much else until she reinforces with more.
Here come the rest of the mutas and they're going to kill that spore.
Bad spore placement leads
got cancelled.
But the drone did die. If we can look at the worker count, we can see that Moonbaby does have a lead of 20, which is going to be big unless these Mutalisks can do a lot of damage.
Kaz is still producing drones and mutas at the same time, however.
And interesting to note, we see Moonbaby has opted to go for double Spire instead of going for Hydralisk, so he's confident he can win a Mutalisk war, even though his Mutalisks are delayed.
That Spore Crawler and kill a lot of drones. She just needs to actually commit.
Exploiting the Spore Crawler placement. She might lose a Mutalisk? No.
Very well then.
Yes.
Oh, the one
dead
Mutalisk
Mutalisk. I mean, if that Mutalisk escaped, it would be back to like a decent amount of health in no time with the Mutalisk regen buff, but she did let it die. More free overlords.
Interesting to see that Moonbaby is putting down 2 spires. Not 1, but 2 spires.
Yeah, this is for double upgrades, because he knows his Mutalisk, he's behind on Mutalisk count, so he's going to go double upgrades to make up for it. We'll see if that ends up paying off.
Yeah, it's interesting that he was still going Mutalisk at all rather than going for Hydras or Festas and some other tech.
I mean, if we look at the unit count, we can see Kaz has 16 Mutalisks, and Moonbaby has 0 with 2 in production. Like, those 2 Mutalisks will just die immediately to the 16 if they do end up fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very, very hard for him to be able to keep up with the amount of mutas Kaz already has, and she's going to keep producing them.
And we can see Kaz's Mutaflock is big enough to start just picking Moonbaby apart. I mean, he's making a lot of spores, but you can't put spores everywhere. There's always
Look
going
at
to be
his
some
drone
place
count
they can be
drop.
attacked.
He was like at 70 and now he's dropped all the way under 60 just from building so many spore
Yeah,
crawlers.
and these Mutalisks are going to pop and die immediately. This is what I was talking about with the Mutalisk count. Like, these spires are upgrading two things at like double upgrades, but will it be enough? But then
Kaz has
again,
a third, but she's not building enough drones to really do anything with it.
we do see Kaz is deciding to retreat with her Mutalisk, which is a bad choice. When you have Mutalisk, you should always be aggressive with them. Always. Like, if we look around the map, we can see Moonbaby has a lot of Overlords. Instead of staying in her base, she could have been flying around killing these, but instead she's given Moonbaby the opportunity to build his own Mutaflock.
Yeah,
But Kaz still does have 10
more.
more.
That 10 more is she's going to need them to be able to hold off Moonbaby's meters. His better economy allows him to get more and more than she can.
If we do look at the upgrades, though, we can see Kaz does have the one armor on her Mutalisks, which combined with her greater numbers will mean she can easily win the fight. But she doesn't want to fight near this huge line of spores because, well, her Mutalisks will probably all die.
She has burrow, which means she'll be able to defend against the mutas pretty easily by burrowing her drones.
Oh, one Mutalisk does die to a volley from Kaz's flock.
There are a lot of spore crawlers now, like even a lot for 22 Mutalisk.
If we look at the structures tab, we can see Moonbaby has 17 spore crawlers on the map, but Kaz only has 2. She's put all that money into like Mutalisks and stuff.
Kaz has a big bank. Spore crawlers minerals
Yeah,
only?
we see both players have a big bank on minerals, but not much gas. I mean, ideally you'd want to make a big round of Zerglings, break through the rocks, and then kill the spores with your Zerglings.
That's a good shout, actually.
But it seems both players are just opting to go for Mutalisks and drones.
Yeah, Kaz definitely needs more drones and might want to turn a few of them into spore crawlers as well, as she just does that right now. In fact, she just made a whole whack of spore crawlers, so she should be okay from these mutas.
We can see that Moonbaby does have his 1-1. That's going to give him a big advantage when he does fight. Because Kaz's air weapons has just started, basically. So it's going to be 1-1 against 0-1 for a very long period of time. We do see a Mutalisk fight.
Kaz has the numbers. No, she doesn't. She just
close.
She still has the advantage, however.
Kaz had the bigger flock, but those upgrades did push her back.
Indeed.
We see Kaz trying to take down the rocks with her Mutalisks. Of course, those rocks will go down in 3 minutes, 18 minutes. That's when they explode.
About to get sniped by Moonbaby.
A good engagement. But it looks like Kaz's superior numbers are going to make her win.
That was bad for Moonbaby. He now has very little defense against these mutas, and
Kaz intelligently doesn't chase him into the spore crawler line, instead opting to play it safe.
She is destroying the wrong rock, however. Instead of the middle one, she's destroying the left one for no apparent reason. Is she building lings? Yes, she has a bunch of speedlings already.
Both players have about 30 Zerglings.
Interesting.
21 Zergling and 21 Mutalisks against 13.
Kaz is making even more Zerglings, and she doesn't need to make mutas anymore because she has...
Upgrades are still in favour of Moonbaby. I mean, he still has that double spire, and he is researching double upgrades. Kaz only has 1 spire.
Kaz has a supply lead for the first time in the game, which could mean that with her next push she might be able to do some intense damage.
That said though, if Moonbaby converted his 4,000 minerals into units, he would have the supply lead, and as I say that, he spends about half of it and does have the supply lead.
As a Masters player, you would have thought he'd be a bit on top of his micro. Maybe he's on Facebook.
Maybe.
I doubt it. Is that something you would do?
Never.
Whilst playing a lesser abled player, would you do something else?
I always focus entirely on the game.
As a Protoss, you have honor.
Yes, indeed. Of course, Zergs have none. We see a Mutalisk fight. Kaz has way bigger flock.
Has the numbers and has again killed way too many Mutalisks. I'm interested to see the resources lost because, it's well in Kaz's favour.
Yep.
By about 3,000 resources. Kaz
Which is about how much minerals Moonbaby has in the bank right now.
Yeah. Kaz is again on top of a
Kaz is focusing so hard on destroying these rocks, but they're all going to explode in 30 seconds anyways. We see even more spore crawlers. Oh no, the spore crawlers are repositioning down here.
Kaz finally destroys the rocks, and then
Moonbaby's expecting an attack any second.
In fact, he spotted the...
We have some Mutalisks from Kaz being intercepted and cut off. That's about 3 Mutalisks dying. Or 2.
But Kaz returns the favour and kills them. Ooh,
she runs away from the spore wall.
And then she kills another one.
Yeah.
And another one.
If we look at the unit tab, we can see it's 24 mutants to 10, 100 and... well, no, 60 Zerglings to 142. So we can see Kaz is going to win the air fight, but the ground fight's going to... oh my god, she's attacking without her entire army at once. The Zerglings are going to overrun Kaz.
The Zerglings are getting destroyed. She hasn't made any banelings.
Kaz is running over the spores.
Kaz's micro really laying her down here when she had the lead.
We can see that micro really costing Kaz the game. Looking at the supply, Moonbaby's 50 supply up, Zerglings coming in, killing everything. Mutalist fight, but it doesn't matter, there's just too many Zerglings on the ground.
I can't help but think that if Kaz had made some banelings, she might have been able to win that fight.
Yeah, I guess she wanted to focus all of her gas onto Mutalisks. I mean, we saw Moonbaby here go for double Spire, but I don't think the upgrades actually made a difference. I think the problem here was just the speedling numbers and micro.
Kaz is still in it. She did manage to hold that attack.
Kaz holds with burrow micro.
Yeah, as I said, that
numbers.
burrow would come in handy.
Yeah.
In defending against the mutas and the Ling run by.
Well, Kaz isn't dead. Like, she did have what she had going for her before was her superior Mutalist count, but now she only has 8 more, and she's behind on upgrades. She's at 1-1. Moonbaby, you can see, is 2-2, so his flock is going to be stronger, I think. And the drone count as well, 76 to 41. Kaz is going to need a miracle to take this back. I mean, if you put life, any pro Zerg in Kaz's position, they would win, but I don't think she's capable, to be honest.
She just doesn't have the gas income. That's a real problem. The extra harvesters that Moonbaby has is really allowing him to get the extra higher tier units.
Yeah, the huge income for Moonbaby lets him just make these Zerglings. Even though he's behind on Mutalist, he can just run past. But we can see that this Zergling run by isn't actually that successful. He's going to target the hatchery, but he probably won't get it. Or maybe he will. He doesn't get it.
Very close. Nice transfuse.
But he might get it with the Mutalisks.
No, Kaz.
No
Kaz can do a
transfuse.
lot of damage. No transfuse. That was unfortunate. The Mutalist count is more or less even. In fact, Kaz is again in the lead.
Yeah,
Mutalist.
10
She just doesn't have
lead.
enough Lings.
But those upgrades are still so huge though. 1-1 against 2-2. And if we look at the production tab, we can see that neither player is going for any more upgrades, so it's going to be 2-2, 1-1 until the end of the game, probably.
Yeah, Kaz pretty much needs to all in at this point to even have a chance.
And if we look at the bottom side of the map, we see 5 hatcheries in production for Moonbaby, with extractors already done at each one, which is going to make his gas income ridiculous. So he is going to take the Mutas League soon, probably.
Because he finally spent his bank, you know?
I mean,
even if it wasn't very efficient.
Kaz is mining off 4 Vespene geysers. Moonbaby is going to be on...
Moonbaby is turning
like
all of
12
his drones
soon.
into spore crawlers.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed this.
Well, if we look at the structures tab, we can see Moonbaby has 18 spores.
Wow. That's one way to spend your money.
Yep.
What do you think it is about Zerg that allows them to consume minerals to morph into different things? How does that work?
I'm not a biologist, sorry.
I thought you'd know more about StarCraft lore than you do. You disappoint me.
I just play the game, damn it.
Not very well either.
No.
Zing.
So yeah, I mean...
3 mutificars in the middle of the map.
We can see that the Mutalist count is even, but the upgrades are just not. 2-2 for Moonbaby, 1-1 for Kaz, 2 base against 8 base. I mean...
Kaz does know about these extra bases, but she's currently flying all of her mutas into spore crawlers.
Yeah, she's fighting the spores. Moonbaby's flock comes in and destroys hers. I mean, now Kaz's Mutalist flock is at 10, Moonbaby's is at 33. I
think this is pretty much game again. It was a shame. Kaz could have had this for a certain period of time. It was just her economy wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I mean, about 18 minutes when the rocks exploded, there was that engagement where she had half the number of Lings of Moonbaby, but like twice the Mutalisks. If she microed better, then maybe she could have won. But
yeah,
her Zerglings fought without the Mutalist support, and she fell apart.
And again, if she had actually made Banelings, she could have decimated the Mutalist baby.
GG.
She had the Baneling list and never made a single Bane.
So Moonbaby's going to take a 2-1 lead, and we're going to go to a short break.